On the bench today we have a new bright Jeep. I cannot tell you the exact model number, as you know, I bought this used, so I'm not really sure how this was packaged originally, but this is exactly how I got it. It looks like there were some side mirrors here that were broke off, and the windshield does fold down as designed. It doesn't stay up real well. I usually just leave it down. So this is what I have customized. The suspension's completely stock. The motor's completely stock. The front doesn't really have a suspension to speak of. The shocks in here are just for show. The rear end does have a little bit of suspension, but it doesn't really need a whole lot. It's not very heavy. So what I've done to customize this, I ripped out, other than the motor, I ripped out all the original electronics. I hooked it up to this transmitter I bought off eBay. It is a cheap China knockoff of a Traxxas remote. Works just fine. No problem with this. 2.4 gig. Works just fine. I have steering trim, throttle trim, and throttle reversing and steering reversing switches. Just a simple 2-channel. That's all you need. Going to the truck, I have, as always, I did put some lights. If I can get this to focus on the front here. I put some lights down low. I wanted to use the original headlights, but there weren't lights there, and it looked like it was going to be more hassle than it was worth to try to get the actual headlights to light up. So I just mounted them a little lower. Brake lights on the back. I put them in where the brake lights would have been if they had any. And works pretty good that way. I've already taken the screws out of the body so I could show you what's going on underneath. I'm just going to kind of set this off to the side. As you can see, all the electronics, I basically just stripped it all out to make room for everything I needed to do. A little bit of overkill, but it's what I had laying around. I'm using a Traxxas XL5, and it is waterproof. And it is LIPO compatible, so it has the low voltage cutoff. So that's the ESC I have on here. I have the light kit, of course, and the servo and everything going to my transmitter that came with my, the receiver that came with my transmitter. And I just put it in a balloon just to keep it waterproof in there. Just a simple trick, simple and cheap. So my ESC, I just mounted to the bottom of the body. Receiver mounted up in front there. My steering servo, it took me a while to get the steering set up on this setup. I'll kind of show you here. I just mounted it to the very front part of the chassis, zip tied it in place, and it's actually pretty simple how it works. The servo horn that I have for this servo comes down, and I don't know if it's kind of hard to see, but I hooked it up to the original steering rod that comes across here. And this is actually off of a RC boat rudder. It's kind of what I have it hooked up to here. There's a hole in the side of this piece and a set screw, grub screw, that goes in there and tightens down on the shaft. So I just use an old piece of, it looks like hanger wire. It's kind of similar, a little bit smaller diameter. Put that in there and it works just fine. It actually works really well. I did modify some of the steering knuckle pieces of the plastic to get myself a little bit of extra turning radius, and as you can see here, it has quite a bit of steering travel, which is really good. A lot better than the stock did. So that's how I set up the steering. Pretty simple design. I just bought this because I like the body. I like the look of the body. And I thought maybe I would at one point want to take this body and put it on something else. And I may at some point, but for right now, that's just what I got going on. I will be posting a running video so you can see a running video of it. But that's what I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Have a great day.